Hey gang, welcome back, man. This is our 69 GTO, man. We're pumping out 700 plus horsepower out of the front. And we're on to this really cool part of the project where we're doing the wiring side of things, which normally can make it a little nauseous, but this is pretty wicked, right?
And this is the perfect time to, I always tell guys that when you're in metal, that's when it's time to plan wiring, because you can figure out where you're going to mount our cells, how you're going to run the wire. If you need to fabricate mounts or brackets, this is the perfect time. So we've got a clean canvas with this body right here.
Yeah, so we've got our Infinitybox set up here, and it's got a brain, so it can do a lot of the stuff that you're mechanically trying to accomplish, relays and switches and communications through here. And then we've got our power cell, and it's about where we mount them to make the most practical use, I guess.
So like for the master cell, we always tell you want to put that as close to your switches as possible because you're going to keep the wire short. So maybe front here on the transmission tunnel, maybe behind where the glove box is, or in one of the kick panels.
And when you think switches, right, you're thinking everything from all your dash stuff and all your controls, but also you're communicating with like your PCM, right, for your powertrain control unit,
fuel pump triggers, cooling fan triggers, all those are inputs or switches going to the master cell.
And that's, again, it's pretty easy that you've got a harness that you just click in and you can just run short wires to communicate with all that stuff.
And those are all color-coded back to a map that comes with the manual that tells you where they go.
Okay, so when we're mounting this thing, I think you were talking a minute ago that you really want access because there's a certain amount of diagnostics that you can use this for?
Right. One of the really powerful things of our system are the diagnostics and the troubleshooting tools. So I don't need a meter or a scan tool. I take that cover off, I push a button below the screen there, and that's going to tell me what's going on. If there are problems, it's going to tell me in real time. So you want to have reasonable access to get to the master cell to read that screen.
So forget the tools. The tools are in here.
The tools are baked in.
And it can give you basics on what's happening with your whole wiring system on a particular circuit.
You got it. And same thing with the power cells. The power cells, think of them as a remote fuse and relay box. So you want to put those close to the things you're turning on and off.
All right, well, let's start figuring out where we want to mount. And I think from here, once we've got that basic strategy, we want to play around with this window.
Let's get the doors. Yeah,
so let's get a whole door thing going on. So cool, let's have some fun.
All right, let's do it.
Hey gang, welcome back. We're on our 69 GTO project and we're just starting out on the wiring. We've got our Infinitybox, sort of our brain up front. We've got our power cell in the rear, about where we think we're gonna land. And Willie's really attacking the door here. We've got electric window operation. So he's drilled a couple of holes, both in the A-pillar and the door to pass through the wiring. And we're just getting that all set up, put some power to it and see if it works. Oh man, it's the moment of truth.
Yeah,
You guys confident here?
Yeah, feel pretty confident.
Let's do it.
I mean, the man behind Infinitybox is right there, so I feel confident this is gonna work. But what a cool upgrade. You've seen window cranks. We've all seen them in old muscle cars, but when have you seen a window crank do this? Ready?
Yep, do it.
Look at that.
Nice.
How cool is that?
And it's super simple. But again, what we're doing is that New Relic switch is wired here to our in-motion cell. The in-motion cell is what is reversing the polarity up and down to make it go up and down. When you get the glass in this, there's a thing you're going to do to train it so it knows how much current it takes to go up and down. Then you're going to be able to tap that handle and express it down. So when it gets to the bottom, it's going to stop. Like every new car, you've got that express feature on your windows. Yeah. You now have that in these doors.
It's going to be on load, not position.
It's on the current draw. So when it gets to the end of its travel and that motor stalls, that's when we shut it off.
Nice.
Way cool. So it's intuitive. It's going to find out where that gap is. They've thought of everything and how to navigate the process and make it all work in something classic like this.
Right. And then when you go to wire that other door, there's a set of switches here that you're going to use for that same switch to control the windows in that door or the windows here in the quarters.
Wow.
So no more wiring coming out of the door than those two data wires we talked about earlier.
Wow.
And the same thing with the locks. And if you did have puddle lights or a turn signal indicator in the mirror or indicators on the switches, it's all powered locally from this box.
And all powered locally in that box without running all those necessary wires.
No more wire than we already ran through the door. That's it.
Wow. And in my 70 Roadrunner, right? I've got power windows and power locks. Just the wires that go through the door are like this because, you get up and down all the windows all around the cab. So imagine all that wiring removed from the process and all that point of failure also removed.
And it's on one network. Like the rest of the system, we still have to install the master cell, the 2 power cells, but it's one harmonized network for the whole car.
And once you wrap your brain around just the different way of doing it, it's pretty darn simple.
That's the whole goal.
And
Keep it
powerful.
simple. Yes, and flexible and scalable, and it gets you what you need.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming.
It's
Help
always a
get
pleasure.
rolling.
It's good to see you guys again.
And we got a whole lot more left, so let's get on it.
All right.